Hello, good morning, afternoon, and evening. This is Abhinav from Immaculate Platform. Let's talk about the larger economic growth trends for the interior design industry in 2026. We'll divide it up into four parts. One, what is the industry growth? Two, what is the segment growth? Three, what is the regional growth? And fourth, probably the most critical, what are the homeowner trends? Essentially, pocket share, intent to spend, all that stuff. Now, let's start with the economic growth, the industry growth overall. The industry growth is expected to clock in at an exciting 12.9%. This is almost double the GDP growth, which is awesome. But the residential segment is going to outpace the rest of the market growth with a rate of 16%. So there is a massive opportunity and it's growing, right? But in what segment? Now, to figure out the segment, let's first look at the income for the top decile. That's the top 10% of income earners. That's projected to grow about 10.1, 10.2, 10.3% in the coming year. And this is going to mean that luxury will continue to outperform the affordable segment. How much? Expected growth in this particular segment? 18% to 20%. There's a second segment as well. There has historically been larger market share of the unorganized sector, but now it's losing pocket share at a fairly strong pace to tech enabled platforms, to organized platforms. Why? Because dependability is the core difference. The customer wants dependability and the difference between commitment and delivery to be minimal, right? Basically, a no surprise experience. The next question is regional. Where is this trend playing out? Now, North India still remains the powerhouse with about a 29 to 30% market share, and the core will remain Delhi, NCR, Gurgaon at 17%. But there's a massive boom currently underway in Chandigarh, there's a luxury corridor in Jaipur, and of course, Lucknow. South India has always led in organized renovation, and there's expected to be a massive surge continuing in that field, right? Particularly in Bangalore and Hyderabad. And West India has always been the premium anchor of India, and Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad are going to continue to remain the anchors of ultra luxury. Now, here, allow me to create a little bit of distinction so we don't forget the tier two cities. Now, there are segments which are seeing a massive uptick over there, and while still small compared to the larger metro cities, but this is where the growth will happen the next couple of years. Number one is modular systems, kitchens, wardrobes. This has been growing at a 14.5 to 15% as organized brands are expanding their retail footprint. Right, they're going into 100 plus cities by the end of 2026. Now, the second thing is premium residential interiors. They're seeing a 16.4% spike, particularly in gated townships, right, where builder grade finishes are being ripped out for bespoke designs. The next one is tech and smart home integration. Now, even apart from the typical smart lighting, right, or security infrastructure, there are a lot of other pieces which have started to play into the IoT theme quite a bit, and this has led to it growing year over year at 24%. Granted, it comes from a smaller base, but that's a massive growth nonetheless. Now, finally, let's talk about the consumer, the homeowner. I will make a larger video exploring different customer segments and personae, but let's talk some top line numbers. Number one, first thing we already talked about was that the top 10% of income earners, their incomes are expected to grow at a healthy 10, 11%, right? But there is something called an intent growth. What is intent growth? There's a really interesting metric, and this measures the growth in people who are willing to go from the passive step of just researching on my own with my own laptop all the way to actually reaching out to you and having a conversation, maybe even a site measurement. And speaking of that, there are three core trends that we have identified. Right, number one, site measurement requests, which is a very active request. That's showing a growth of from 22% to 28% over the last 12 months. That's a massive surge. Second, percentage of customers who are actually willing to share site plans for a customized quote, that's about 11%, which is substantial as anyone who works in this business will know. And third one, this is the most dependable metric, the growth in credit and home renovation loan inquiries. There has been a 15% rise in loan applications specifically targeted or tagged, I'm sorry, for home improvement or renovation. This is coming in from the fintech giants in India, right? And this has all happened since mid 2025s. Now, all of this picture is fairly nice, but things are not completely hunky dory because you have to think about the mushrooming competition right now and what you need to do to pull the customer towards you. Now, to satisfy the customer and their expectations, they need today an efficient workflow. Now, there's a workflow which manages customers, his ever-changing mind, right? His decisions, dependencies on him, like he has to take a permission from society, vendors, your timelines, right? What material do I want to use? Your current status, all without the daily overhead that comes with execution. We at Immaculate have a SaaS solution that provides a simple, efficient, no overhead workflow that integrates your website, your portfolio, your lead, your planning, your execution, all the way back into the first step. If you're interested, talk to us at immaculateplatform@gmail.com or 78271 51709. Thank you very much and have a good day.